Thing is, if the Celtics are healthy, I don't think they're going to lose in the Eastern Conference. I think they're going to make the NBA Finals. And matter of fact, I think this is such a great team that it's one of the best collection of talents that we've seen in modern NBA history.
100%.
Especially post 2000s, I think the roster that has been assembled is next level. And I have a list of names here of other all-time teams that have won NBA championships. A bit of an unfair comparison considering the fact that the Celtics could win this year and go back-to-back, or they could not. We do not know, but we know how good the roster is. How do you think they would fare against the 2019 Raptors, who would win in a 7-game series?
Toronto.
The thing is, on both sides of the ball, the more
Toronto's
well-rounded team,
so insane.
and so is the Boston Celtics.
They have
a 7'2" guy who shoots 40% from three.
You had Kawhi Leonard, you had Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet, and then you've got Serge
what do you mean on
Ibaka,
both
Marc
sides of the
Gasol,
ball?
and Danny Green.
Offense and defense, they are the more
They had OG
well-rounded.
Anunoby on that team in the
Toronto
regular
was
season.
built defensively
OG didn't
better.
play.
He doesn't
can't
count.
play in the
Are they
playoffs.
more
He doesn't
well-rounded
count.
than the
He played
Celtics?
60 games. What do you mean he doesn't count?
He was hurt for the playoff
But he was
run.
healthy for the regular season.
They
That
had
counts.
Kyle Lowry,
Come
they
on.
had Fred VanVleet, then at the
Drew
guard spot,
Holiday,
then they
Derek
had
White, better.
They had Norman Powell.
They had
on the
Danny
team, too.
Green, Norman Powell,
Norman
OG,
Powell's worth
Kawhi.
better.
Then they had Siakam and Gasol
I forgot.
running the bigs.
KP, Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum is way better than their big three.
In terms of offense?
And considering both two-way
He
ability,
only
yes.
played 67
I
games.
don't know if
in
I
the
agree with
regular season.
that.
He counts.
Yes.
I'm talking about
I
this
don't know if I
team.
agree with
KP's better than Pascal
hoisted the
Siakam, that
trophy.
version. Jalen Brown's better than every player not named Kawhi Leonard. And Jason Tatum's Jason Tatum.
Well,
Kawhi
Kawhi clears him.
At that point, no doubt.
Kawhi Leonard was the best
All
player
right,
in the
keep
world
it in your
that
pants,
year.
John. I will agree with
Keep
you.
in my pants. This is what we saw for a full playoff run.
He's
No one
right.
could stop
this
him.
This is a 10-man rotation. I don't know.
The
Yeah.
Celtics are bigger than just Jason Tatum, and that was evident last year.
Yeah, and so is that
when,
Raptors team,
when
though.
Jason Tatum did not play nearly at his best,
Right.
and it was not close.
Offensively, I would say no. That team, offensively, it was ride or die with Kawhi Leonard.
Yes.
There were stretches where that offense was so bad
Worked out.
without Kawhi.
And when are you going to get a bad version of
They also
the
played a
Celtics
60
offense?
win.
You
I know
literally
it's a
can get a
playoff
bad
game,
version
but
of
they
Tatum
played a
and Jalen
60 win
Brown.
pace without
And they
Kawhi.
still will beat you by double digits.
They won't beat the Raptors by double
They
digits.
did it last season
Against who?
against
Dallas?
every team they played.
They played
No team they
Indiana.
played last playoffs was on
Toronto, it
Toronto's
clears
level or
Indiana.
nearly on that
100%.
What are you talking about? They ain't beat nobody when you sitting there looking at them like they can fuck with Toronto.
Is the 2019 Raptors and last year's Mavericks team different?
Yes.
Like drastically?
Yes.
Yes,
They have an offensive
They're way
player.
deeper, and they have way better.
The Dallas team wasn't deep.
Kyrie. After Kyrie, they had 4 guys that could
You had
consistently give
Luka
you
and
24.
Kyrie. Luka and Kyrie. That's one of
Keep
the best
going.
offensive backcourts we've ever
Keep
seen.
going.
But after those two,
Offensively,
their
keep
best
going.
players who?
PJ Washington, probably.
Or a rookie center off the bench.
PJ Washington be the what best player on the Raptors?
No doubt.
He'd be the 8th
Keep
man on that
going.
team.
But the defense, the front court, talking
Toronto's
about the
defense, elite.
Okay,
If Marc
so
Gasol,
was the
Serge
Dallas
Ibaka.
Mavericks.
Yeah, Toronto's front court is
Marc
elite.
The
Gasol,
The
worst
worst-
you don't
we
think
saw the
Serge
Boston
Ibaka-
Celtics offense was against the
And,
Dallas
and
Mavericks.
Toronto could go small and big.
And so can the Celtics.
They damn near
That's what I'm saying.
didn't
So they
use
they
Serge
match up
Ibaka.
perfectly with
but
Boston.
the thing is, you can't go
They
small
match up
against
perfectly with
Boston.
Toronto, too.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. It's a
they
perfect
both
matchup.
match
If you
up
get
well.
if you get what we're watching right now with the Celtics with a healthy Kristaps Porzingis, they are unguardable. You cannot stop them. They are unstoppable.
can guard Tatum.
And of course, oh damn it, there goes KP off the court. Here is Al Horford, who can do the not the exact same thing, but he can still stretch the floor.
And Luke
As
Cornett's been a
great
good
as-
backup big for them this year.
Luka is
He's been good. I feel like
won't kill you.
the Celtics. I have a lot of respect for the Raptors.
Yeah,
the
so do
2019
I.
Raptors. I think the Celtics are more well-rounded.
They are.
I don't
The,
think
the
so.
Raptors, you can sell
not
me
a better
on.
offense.
You can sell me on their defense being
Raptors
better.
are deep.
I think that's where you lose
Offensively,
me
the
at.
Celtics
Offensively,
is
yes.
they're much better.
Yeah. And by the way,
Offensively,
you're
yeah.
listing all those defenders. You forgot to mention Danny Green, who last week you're considering taking top 5
agree
in
with you.
2009 redraft.
I agree with you.
And that was his best
Nah,
season.
that's top
Shot
10, not top
45%.
5. Top 5 is a little rich. It was the 8th
No,
overall pick.
he was debating.
I wasn't saying 5.
Yes, you were.
No,
After
I wasn't. It was
after,
like
after 5.
8,
You
9,
said, are we
10.
questioning? Are we thinking about Danny Green here?
It was like 8, 9, 10. Because 5 was.
It was
Drew-
definitely
Drew
around that
Holiday.
range. But no, you're not wrong. You're top 10. Top 10 still.
Yes.
Top 10.
I
We're going to have to go
Little-
back because
still
I
a
edited
little
the
rich.
video.
No, I'm 8, 9, 10.
I edited it. Listen back a lot of times.
Uh-huh.
After that fifth
I
pick,
talked it.
After that 5th pick, we're talking about Jeff Teague and we're talking about Ty Lawson, and you go, does Danny Green enter the Matrix here?
Uh-huh.
When I had these
shows how
videos, I
dog
listened
shit
back
the
to it 10
draft
times.
was.
But and that's his best season. Shot 45%
Draft was
from
dog
3.
shit, John.
So is the only reason that
That's
you're
like their
taking the
8th best
Raptors Kawhi Leonard?
Well, these two teams are structured very similarly, and I believe that with Nick Nurse and Joe Mazzulla, the coaching's great as well. So it really comes down to the top end talent. And I'm going to go with Kawhi Leonard in that playoff.
Jesus Christ, John. The glaze is ridiculous, as if they don't have...
He was the best player in the world.
Of the four best players in the series, the
LeBron
Celtics have
playoffs
3.
That year, so it was Kawhi in the playoffs.
Okay, John.
Kawhi was
again,
the best player in the world because Kevin Durant was hurt.
But you're also missing the point. They have the 3 of the 4 best players in the
healthy,
series.
conversation with him.
I'm just going to keep ignoring this, John.
Sorry, what's up?
They have 3 of the 4 best players in the series, the Boston Celtics.
If that's the case,
they do.
Fine.
Okay. And
Raptors are the best player, and Pascal Siakam was awesome that season.
He was.
Fred
He's not better than
VanVleet
KP, with all due respect, and I love
Outside
Siakam.
of the NBA
So
Finals,
obviously-
Pascal was all right.
Obviously, different era, but the Raptors that year were top 5 in offense and defense.
Okay.
So
What was their offensive rating? What were they?
113. I'm actually surprised at that.
113 offensive rating?
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
Well, in that era, yeah.
Comparatively right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what, like in that era,
It's
yeah.
always comparative to the year, though. They're top 5
And
in
the
offense.
Celtics can switch everything.
That
Yeah,
Raptor team.
that's gonna work for sure.
That Raptor
That's
team.
gonna work.
So
Yeah,
let me
they're
ask
small.
you a
That is
question.
going to
Offensively,
work.
when the Raptors go up against the Celtics defense, what are the Celtics sweating? Kawhi Leonard, right? Kawhi Leonard.
That's it.
Kawhi
Okay.
Leonard.
That's it.
They're a good 3-point
Kyle
shooting
Lowry's
team.
a
though.
playoff choker.
The best 3-point shooting
Before-
team of our right now is the Boston
But
Celtics by a lot.
Before the
Toronto's probably gonna
Raptors,
live and die with one.
before the Raptors won that championship, Kyle Lowry was viewed as a playoff choker.
With DeMar DeRozan. With Kawhi Leonard, it was different.
Yeah, but how many points did he average in that playoff run? Like
16?
15, 16?
I can look at it. I have it up right now.
Yeah, I think Derek White or Kyle Lowry.
Derek White, Drew Holiday, or Kyle Lowry.
That's closer.
And I would still go
that's
Drew
closer.
Holiday.
That's closer.
Yeah.
Last year's Drew Holiday?
But Drew Holiday over Danny Green for sure. Derek White over Kyle Lowry.
Yes.
Jalen Brown
Kyle Lowry
over
averaged
Siakam.
Kyle Lowry averaged 15 and 7 in the playoffs.
Like, I do think
What
the
were the
Celtics,
efficiencies? Curious.
Solid.
if we're measuring their starting
EFG
lineup,
53.
the Celtics
Not bad.
are better at 4 of the 5 positions. Porzingis is better than Gasol or
But basketball
Ibaka.
doesn't play that way.
Yeah, no, Toronto played like 9
It's not
guys,
that way.
20 minutes.
No, I know. With
Celtics-
Fred VanVleet, Norman Powell,
Yeah.
The
Serge
Celtics are
Ibaka.
still going 7-8 strong.
They are.
Yeah, give me Toronto's 9 and 7.
Oh my god.
If it goes 7, I'm
They
gonna
definitely
take
have
I do
role
think it'd
players
be
that are better.
great, but I'm going with Toronto. I think it'd be a 7-game series, but I'm going with Kawhi in Game 7.
Okay, the other team I wanted to mention was the
Pascal Siakam averaged 19 in the playoffs.
the 2011 Mavericks.
Give me both.
I think I'm thinking about the
Swept.
Sixers series that
They
Siakam
swept
was
the
was
back-to-back
all right.
champs.
The Lakers team was not that good that year.
They had the same exact core.
They were not. Just go watch that game. They
They
were
weren't
not
that
that
good
same
that year.
team.
I know. I
This team
understand
is a little
that.
older.
They still
less
swept Kobe
athletic.
Bryant. Pau Gasol.
And you get respect for that. They also beat the Spurs, like we spoke about prior. They get a lot of acknowledgement for that, no doubt. They beat the Big Three Heat when LeBron
Tell
was at his
Oklahoma City.
absolute worst. This is one of the better rings in NBA history.
I think it's a top 3 championship. of all
Let's
time.
not undermine that. Who's a better team? The 2025 Boston Celtics.
Oh, I agree. I just wanted to
Okay.
praise it.
No,
That's
no,
why
as you
it
should.
matters.
Dirk
And I got it.
Nowitzki
Because
switching
it's
out
all
on the
about
perimeter.
talent here, but people said it was all about talent when they were playing the Lakers in the second round. People had them losing that series, and they kicked the Lakers' ass.
They were underdogs in every series, man.
And exactly, if they're underdogs here, I mean, I'm going to show them a lot of respect.
You're just disrespecting the Boston Celtics.
The 2010 Lakers.
This one's tough.
Telling me 7-game series to the wire. It's Kobe versus Tatum.
I think
Give me
this
Kobe.
is more of a like outside of Kobe Bryant, who is scaring you offensively for the Lakers.
Ron
They're playing
Artest would
two
put
totally
Jalen Brown in a
different-
box.
Two totally different eras of basketball.
box.
This is going to be
It is.
a Laker team that
Well,
was
Ron
winning
Artest
games
probably
89
guards
90.
Tatum, or does Kobe take that assignment? Because Kobe probably would take.
Kobe
that
could take
assignment.
Jalen Brown. Box. Ron Artest could take
He
Jason
would box
Tatum.
him.
Box?
Yeah,
They got Bynum and Pau Gasol.
absolutely.
What do we mean box?
Who's guarding Pau Gasol?
he would lock him up.
Like he's averaging less than
Who's
how many
guarding
points?
Pau Gasol?
Porzingis.
KP.
So then who's guarding
I
Bynum?
think Tatum is guarding.
I was going to say
It could
Tatum
be
can
Tatum.
Tatum's
guard.
guarding. Yeah, Tatum was guarding center. Wait,
Tatum cannot guard Pau Gasol.
He was guarding center last year in the playoffs.
Name the
Different
center.
player.
Name the center.
Derek Lively. I
Now
mean,
you're about
he's
to
not
make me
guarding
mad
centers
saying
with
that.
defend
post
up.
moves.
Name the center.
He can
And what
defend.
about
Name the
Pascal
center.
I
Siakam?
won't name the center.
Name
he can
the
defend
no,
up.
no, 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 no.
Did he
Well,
not
be
guard
all
Pascal
night, 'cause I
Siakam?
won't.
Because
I
you
won't.
did- name
I
the
won't.
center.
Tatum
John,
was
just say
defending center.
Pascal Siakam. Just say
Pau
Pascal.
Gasol has way more post game.
Oh, no.
by far.
I
On the
get it.
block. It's not
But
even close.
Tatum
Oh, dude,
defends.
please pull up some
Ben
highlights.
Siakam.
No, absolutely, but I'm just saying Siakam has great post work.
Oh no, it's
Stop.
way harder to guard.
Dude,
Gasol.
it ain't Pau- and he's
This
7
year,
feet?
this year,
Nowhere close to
Siakam
Pau,
has, I think, top 7 post ups.
That doesn't tell you about their post.
I'm just saying
that
he
doesn't tell you
does
about
it
their
at a
post-up, bro.
Gasol was so
egregious
good.
rate.
He
No,
made an All Star at
absolutely.
like 35.
No,
with
no,
Bulls.
Pau Gasol is an all-time
How's the
great.
man?
Tatum scaled
And
up
all-
to guard
yeah.
Pau. Go
But I'm
ahead.
just saying Tatum guarded up against Siakam
Renaissance.
too, and Siakam's far from
Siakam's
the
more
ball.
his size. Siakam's 6'8".
Powell is no,
He's
he's
6'9". He's 6'9".
Okay, Tatum 6'9", same size.
Yeah.
Jalen Brown guards
Gasol's
Kobe.
7 feet tall. That's not even like that's a power forward now, and that type. That's a big man. That's a legit big man.
6'8"
That's
versus 7
different.
foot,
That's
no, it's
scaling up
tougher.
completely different. Now the Lakers defensively, they played them too big. It's trouble.
I was gonna say
trouble.
this is where again they're a mismatch for every team they're gonna go up against.
But that's
But they could also play small with Lamar
it's-
Odom
facts.
It's challenging because when you make
Do you
this
want to go
comparison,
small against the Celtics?
if you got to play
You're
that, you got to play that
comparing
way.
Beating the Celtics, you have to pack the paint. So like, why do you think?
Do you?
Why do you think they struggle with teams like Cleveland? Like, because they have the Twin Towers that can go mobile. Like, if Pau Gasol could step out, hit the mid range, now you have two big men. Of course, you're going to struggle because Bynum's going to get killed in switches, like a different era. But you want, like, even when they played Philly, like, Embiid didn't, he's not the all-world beater, but those are the teams they usually struggle with, those teams that have that dominant big. Like, that's why they don't want to play the Joker.
But this year, well, fair. Nobody wants to play him. That being said, their offense is threes.
No, yeah, their offense, that's what I'm saying. Like, if the
That's
Lakers.
what I'm saying.
The Lakers guarding Boston,
That's
Listen,
what I'm talking about.
basketball has changed so much the last 14 years between
It's a fact.
2010
Yes.
and 2024. I think it's unfair to look at this solely through the lens of one of the most modern offenses of all time, one of the most modern teams of all time, with a very, very big traditional throwback team.
Agreed.
If you're going to look at it solely through that lens, then the Celtics are going to win the series, but I don't think that's fair when you look at how different the 2010 NBA Finals were compared to the 2024. So,
I agree.
but like the better team
That's
to
just
me.
not
So
the
what you're
that's
saying
not-
that in this
that's just not
style,
the
the
question.
Celtics win.
Yeah, because it's a modern.
In that
it's a
style, the
modern
Lakers
version.
win.
Yeah, it's a modern version. So usually you're always gonna find something that's better than the previous.
But who would you?
model.
So right now,
Yeah, I'm
you
confused.
you
Who
would
would you take?
you would take the Celtics then.
I would take the Lakers, but
wait, what?
in the lens that I look at it in a different lens than you guys,
Clearly.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
because they're comparing two totally different eras of basketball.
Well, I mean, yeah.
And I
We're
think
just talking about roll the
So,
ball,
yeah, all right,
roll
here's
the ball
the
on the
thing,
court.
and I
roll the
understand
ball
what
on the
you're
court. You plop the 2010 Lakers into today. The Celtics are winning, but the better team to me was the 2010 Lakers.
So, because I understand what you're saying, because I'm not taking the 2025 Boston Celtics over the 96 Bulls. I'm not doing that. So I understand, even if it's different eras.
Yeah.
Because you have to respect the
It
all-time
was
greatness of the
especially
team.
that Laker team.
So, but
too
here's the
played
thing.
so
I'm
different.
saying that I would still take the 96 Bulls over this 2025 Boston Celtics team. I'm still staying consistent. I would take this 2025 team over the 2010 Lakers.
Yeah, 2010 Lakers, Lamar Odom, Shannon
don't hate
Brown, Jordan Farmar off the bench. No, they had some depth, but no, I think it's reasonable to think that too. The last team I'll mention with this comparison is the 2008 Celtics.
It's
I'm going
similar.
to Celtics, but it's same story.
It's similar conversations.
Similar
That
conversation.
four,
You can help out. You can help off of Rondo though.
yeah, but he's also gets the
Oh.
paint consistently.
07
So-
Spurs or 2025 Celtics.
That defense was crazy, man. That defense was crazy.
They also faced a Cleveland team that had no other offensive threat outside.
Well,
of
their
LeBron.
finals was the West. Their finals wasn't really
Yeah.
like but I think like what John said, and I want to touch on that a little bit. Modern NBA versus past NBA. Modern NBA, he picks it because obviously we get better as the years progress. But where's the theory of them forcing Boston or these other teams forcing Boston to play that style as opposed to Boston forcing them to play their style?
How do you play that style?
It's-
How do you
it's hard,
force the
'cause
Celtics
threes
into
are
that?
more than two.
Well, that's why I'm giving you a team like 07 Spurs because now you have Tim Duncan, somebody who is going to completely alter the way you play, along with Tony Parker, along with Manu Ginobili.
Definitely.
Or maybe even going back, give me 02, 01 Lakers, where now you have Kobe and Shaq. So now Shaq alters you to play a completely different way than how you want to play because you can't scale down. You can't have Tatum at the 4, Porzingis at the 5 because now you're
Shaq's
just
a
like
drum
You can't play
sitting there.
small.
You can't play
Top
small because
5
now you're
peak
sitting
of
here
all
with
time.
Shaq.
He's gonna take over.
Or
I'm
even
with you.
like a team.
I mean, even the Lakers was a good example. I mean,
That
you
was a
have
good
to
example.
you have
To a
to
smaller
play
scale,
to Pau
for sure.
Gasol. Like I understand the Pascal Siakam point that you made, but
Yeah.
Siakam is like 6'8", 6'9".
Yeah.
So like versus Gasol, it's just a different dynamic. Gasol today would be a center
For sure.
like absolutely. So I think I understand your point. You know, you got to make the Celtics play to their style, and that's a slower approach.
It's hard to do that though, because their game is so 3-centric.
For sure. But I don't think they've
times
played,
half.
with all due respect to Embiid, outside of in the Joker, obviously he's in the West. They don't play consistent, dominant bigs in the playoffs
Yeah.
that
in
warrant
the
them to
day.
change. Yeah, that warrant them
agree.
to change their style of play.
I'm with you.
Like so, they're able to Right, and of course it's effective. I'm not even about to say it's effective. It works for them. They have the players for it.
Yeah.
But when you go into a playoff series, you have to schematically scheme up against a team, and now you have to play a different style because you have a completely different. Like, no offense to Indiana, no offense to Cleveland, who else they play? The Heat, but they don't have no altering, changing big to where they have to change how they play. No, but then you go up against these teams. Yeah, fact. Shout out Bam, but you don't have to change how you play for Bam. All respect to Bam. But like when you go up against a Shaq, you go up against a Dirk. Now you go up against a Pau Gasol to a smaller level. Those are the times where you're like, now we have to change the way we play.
What about Giannis though?
No, because I don't think he's the same.
Shit up in that
But you understand what I mean?
series.
Like they went up against Giannis,
but I don't think he's not the same
but this
as Shaq.
isn't the same Celtics that was in 2022.
That's a fact. But he's not the same as Shaq. Like I don't even think he's the same as Pau Gasol in a sense. Like I think Giannis likes. Like I think
he's better than Pau by a lot.
He's better. But if you watch Pau Gasol play and you watch Giannis play,
I get it.
Pau Gasol works in the mid range on the elbow or on the block. Giannis likes to work on the block, but he likes to get the ball in the face up.
Agreed,
Yeah,
100%.
Pau Gasol likes to back you down. So there's still even different type of bigs. Like that's why I think Giannis is different than even those bigs. He doesn't even like to screen too much. He's not that type of big. He's a different big. So like even when they played him and they just built the wall.
Yeah.
You can't really build the wall against Shaq unless you got that 5. Like the reason why it worked for Detroit is Ben Wallace is just as strong as Shaq. He may not be as tall, but he's just as physically strong. If you go up against Shaq now, obviously we're just Shaq, all-time great player, but just talking about all-time teams, you go up against Shaq now, you can't just run out Luke Cornett and Kristaps Porzingis or Al Horford. Like Porzingis just doesn't have the size.
No.
Like none of them do. So now you're like, all right, we can shoot them to death, but if we keep coming down this court, keep getting wear down by Shaq, getting in foul trouble.
Then again,
Hey, you said
put
0-1.
Shaq in pick and roll from the 3-point line.
That's a
20
fact.
feet.
For
I mean,
sure.
The scores would be outrageous. I will say, if we're talking about the 01 Lakers, the 2000 Lakers, it's a different conversation because you're talking about Shaq. But again, we're talking about the 2010 Lakers, which they are a great team, but they don't have that overwhelmingly dominant paint presence the way that obviously Shaquille O'Neal is. And that's not saying a lot because, of course, Shaquille O'Neal is one paint presence player.
Tracks. Yeah.
I just feel like with Shaquille O'Neal, we often view him in the lens of when he was on the Lakers and he was just so wide and so big and overbearing
Orlando.
that it's like, okay, if that Shaq was in this era, yeah, he probably wouldn't be able to step out there. But when he was in Orlando, he
so
was
athletic.
like in his perfect physique, like perfect.
Even early days Lakers, like when he first got there, he was there.
that
physically
Shaq,
was
I think,
crazy.
would be able to keep up on the perimeter
I agree.
and be
Just take care of your
serviceable.
body, Shaq.
Yeah,
Honestly,
like I think he would be able to do that, and then he at that point it'd just be unstoppable on both ends. So that's kind of weird to me. Like whenever we talk about Shaq, it's like, okay, let's use like the biggest version of Shaq, but let's just take away the fact that maybe he could have looked like Orlando Shaq, and he could have looked like in perfect physique, and he could have maybe guarded out in perimeter. So old eras is always fun. I think the Celtics are heading in that trajectory, especially if they win back-to-back titles. We're going to talk about them as an all-time team, and I think
They're not winning this year?
they're favorites for a reason. I think they
OKC
will
is the
make it
only
out
one
the
that would
East.
scare me if I'm a Celtic fan.